This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And hey, there's so many different places in Walt Disney World to go to. I mean, so many different resorts, so many options to choose from, tickets, dining plan. There's so many different options, so many different choices. And you know what? Even to the most experienced travelers like us, it can be a little daunting a task. But you know what? MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you make those decisions. They can help you get the right choice to make your next trip to Walt Disney World that much easier. Check them out online at www.mousefantravel.com.
Bringing the world to your world, this is Walt Disney World Today. Here are Mike Scopa, Len Testa, Mike Newell, and your host, Matt Hochberg.
It's Wednesday, March 2nd, 2011, and this is episode 845 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Happy March, Mike.
Hey, March 2nd. Nice. Not bad.
Yeah, it's about the year's flying by already.
Yeah, cool.
And if it's March, that means it's still the middle of winter over in Ontario, Canada. And that must mean Fred Hazelton, master statistician of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World, is joining us on this show. Welcome, Fred.
Hello, Matt. Thank you for having me once again. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's great to have you on the show, Fred, and we can sound a little bit smarter today.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's Wednesday. We're answering your listener questions, so let's jump right into it. First email's from Kodo from Atlanta. We were just fiddling around with taking a trip to Walt Disney World soon and saw that Trails End is not a buffet for lunch right now. Checked on February 6th. All ears are reporting the menu is an a la carte part of a pilot program. What the what?
Who to what?
Yeah, they tested it out. This happened. Lunch was changed from a buffet to a counter service earlier last year. I think I want to say around November or so. And I had heard it was still a pilot program at least through the end of the year 2010. And from what I can hear, it's still the same thing. I complained, naturally. I think it's awful because the prices that they've changed seem to be much higher to order. Not even, never mind, you can't order the same amount of food because it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. But the entree prices are definitely much higher price point than the old lunch buffet used to be. Luckily, breakfast.
Same menu?
It's a la carte for lunch. So,
right, but same food items?
Yeah, same basic ideas. You can order the chili, you can order the fried chicken or whatever. Breakfast and dinner are still buffet. So, my advice to you is boycott lunch. Stick with either breakfast or dinner. Excuse me. Next email is from Fred Butler of Westminster, Maryland.
Fred!
I'm a big fan of the show, having been a listener for about 2 years now. My family and I are going to Walt Disney World in early June 2011, which will be right after the opening of Star Tours 2. We're going to be in the studios on June 6th, which isn't a Fantasmic or Star Wars Weekends Day. How will the opening of Star Tours 2 affect touring on this day? My plan was to let my parents, wife, and kids ride Toy Story first, while I get Fast Passes for Toy Story rerides. Then we're going to go to Tower of Terror, get Fast Passes for Rock and Roller Coaster, then head over to Star Tours to ride. Are we going to wind up waiting a long time for Star Tours? With the opening of the refurbished version of the ride, should I be making it more of a higher priority?
Wow, well, that's the ultimate question, isn't it? I mean, this is one of those tough things. I mean, we have some precedents to go on, and we can look at other attraction openings. Everest, Soarin' come to mind. And it's just tough to say. The thing about Star Wars, I think, and I don't know, Matt, maybe you could comment on this too, but I think if they opened up every bay, and because I'm assuming they're going to do that when they open up. I mean, they haven't done that for a long time. It's always been 1, 2, maybe 3 bays that have been opened. I think if they opened up all bays, we're personally at touring plans, we're not expecting the wait times to do anything more than maybe double what they normally would, which is going to mean they're probably going to max out 40 minutes, 45, maybe an hour. But I don't see it being crazy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it's the same amount of simulators as the old Star Tours. They've just kind of revamped the simulators, but it's still and Star Tours, the old one, had a very high capacity, like Fred you just mentioned. So
it does, yeah. It's got 8 or something?
I believe there's six simulators. Yeah.
So they can actually get a lot of people through there if they had to. So we're expecting that the wait times actually aren't going to be that bad.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think your estimate's right on, Fred. Next email is from Katie, who's a 2005 college program cast member from Royersford, Pennsylvania. I'll be traveling to the world May 21st, 2011 through May 26th, staying at Pop Century. My friend and I will be at the Hoop-de-Doo on Sunday.
Yippee!
On Sunday, May 23rd at 9:30. We will have a car, but do not want to drive considering that they're offering unlimited beer. Smiley face. From what I gather, the best way to get there would be to take the bus to Magic Kingdom, then take the boat to Fort Wilderness, correct? Yeah, if you don't have we will have a car, but don't want to drive. Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be my choice.
Now, on to my real question. How do we get back to Pop Century once the 9:30 show is over? All the parks will be closed by then. Will we have to transfer from several buses until we get back to Pop Century? They actually do have buses that will come and pick you up. They don't have a bus for every single resort, but they all have a bus for like a region of resorts. Like resorts that are close to each other will share a bus. Like I'm trying to think of a good example. It's like the Port Orleans buses would probably share a bus with like Old Key West because they're kind of near each other in Saratoga Springs. But they do offer bus transportation back after the show, no matter what show it is. So that won't be an issue. You'll just go over to the bus stop, which if you're coming out of the Hoop-de-Doo building, you'll take a right and just walk until you see the bus area, and there'll be buses there waiting for you. Katie also writes, we haven't purchased tickets yet, so would you recommend the 9:30 show for two girls in their 20s or the 7:15? I like the 9:30 because usually there's more discounts for that late show. There's also more availability, so that's also something going for it. What do you think, Noel? You've seen the show a couple times.
Oh, wow. I don't know. The 7:30 is probably going to have more kids in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the 9:30 will probably be more, not adult themed, but it'll be more, I don't know.
I'm surprised that they have a choice. I mean, how far in advance are they booking this? If they haven't booked it yet, you're probably going to have a better chance getting the late show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a better seat anyway.
Yeah, it won't be as rushed. You don't have to get there as early, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Next email is from Helen in Smithfield, Virginia. While walking one morning and listening to episode 713, I was absolutely thrilled to hear you read my email. I'm sure passersby thought I just won the lottery or was very possibly insane. Since you were able to, in such a timely manner, answer my question, I'm going to take a chance on getting this question answered as well.
Wow, 2 for 2. Incredible.
Our family has frequently visited the world and enjoyed every moment of the planning, participating, and reminiscing for each trip. We had such a great time on winter break in March that we decided to add a Disneyland trip to our summer trip when we're going to San Diego as well. Of course, I already have my copy of the unofficial guide to Disneyland.
Ding.
We'll be staying at the Grand Californian for 3 nights beginning July 23rd. My girls will be 11, almost 12, and 13. They ride everything and are pretty interested in shows as well. Besides the guide, where can I go for the kind of fun inside tips I usually get from you guys? How should I prepare for my Disney-loving family to enjoy the differences between California parks and the Florida parks without any disappointment? Fred?
It's a good question. There are some resources out there. I mean, I could start with the obvious plug, touringplans.com. We've got lots of Disneyland information for those of you that are visiting the West Coast. But there are other sources.
You guys have lines now for Disneyland as well.
Lines for Disneyland, touring plans, a crowd calendar for Disneyland. It's all on there. And there are lots of other sources. Some of the Disney World sources, like All Ears and a few others, will have some stuff on Disneyland as well. And the book, I mean, the unofficial guide itself talks a lot about the differences between what you experience in Walt Disney World and what you experience in Disneyland. It's going to be similar in some ways, but it's going to be very different in other ways. But it's definitely a positive experience. Everyone should definitely do it.
Cool. Next email is from Jason Mowney of Richmond, Virginia. Long before I heard the podcast, I read the unofficial guide for all of my Disney planning information. Somewhere in the guide a few years back, my wife ran across a section on music from the parks played over the internet. I don't recall if other sites were listed, but Mouse World Radio was the one that stuck out and has been an excellent source of entertainment for us ever since.
Thank you.
I was wondering if I could direct a few questions to Stream Master Mike.
No.
Ready, Mike, for some questions?
No. No.
Come on, he's your big fan.
Everything is illegal. You can't buy it. You know.
No, actually, it has nothing to do with that kind of stuff. Actually.
I don't trade nor sell music. Okay, yeah, that's the usual. Out of the way. Google's your friend. Okay,
First question, Mike, are you single? No, just kidding.
Why? No.
Who's asking? What was the inspiration behind starting Mouse World Radio? When did this occur?
1992. And I like to think that Horizons was my inspiration. The music from Horizons was so incredibly epic to me that really started the whole thing.
Horizons.
Oh,
wow, I never saw it. So ashamed.
Oh, Fred.
I know. Hey, I didn't even know about it.
Fred, I'm revoking your U.S. citizenship for that.
He doesn't have U.S. citizenship.
Okay, I never had it anyway.
Hey-o. Mike, how big is your musical library?
I have several hard drives full. Let's just put it that way.
What are the major differences between all of the stations?
Radio 1 is the free one. Radio 2 is the high speed one. The other ones are premium channel. Yes.
When you say high speed, you mean like high bandwidth, like better quality, right?
Back in the day, Radio 1 was 33K mono, and Radio 2 was 64K stereo. So it was a difference. Now, not so much.
Right.
But back in the day, it was. So I just kept it. I never changed it.
And that's where the computer crashed. So that's all the show that we had. In fact, that's all that we recorded. So it kind of worked out. I wanted to put something out there instead of leaving you with nothing. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or post a comment, please visit us at the WDW Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Matt Hochberg and Fred Hazelton, I'm Mike Newell. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.